Alright guys, and welcome back to the Little Lawn Gaming channel. Today we have Season 5 of the Bugatti F1 2021 My Team Career Mode series. And it's a big one. Bugatti slowly developing a decent car. Will it finally be the season, or will we be made to wait yet again? Going into the season there are no driver changes, so we are straight into the action. And let's head to Bahrain. Well, in the opening race, there are no Bugatti drivers in the top 14 again, but Max Verstappen did reign supreme. Charles Leclerc second, Bottas third, Gasly fourth, Sainz fifth, Hamilton sixth, Perez seventh, Giovinazzi eighth, Stroll ninth, and Norris got that final point for McLaren in 10th. But as we travelled to Imola, Bugatti have performed, and not only have they got in the top 14, they've both got into the points. Mick Schumacher picking up a 5th place, and Valentino Rossi with his first points in F1 in 9th. Pierre Gasly managed to win the race, Verstappen 2nd, Leclerc 3rd making the podium up, Hamilton 4th, Sainz 6th just below Mick Schumacher, Bottas 7th, Norris 8th, and then behind Rossi was Sergio Perez in 10th. What a weekend for Bugatti! And after that crazy weekend in Imola, we went to Portugal where Max Verstappen won, Charles Leclerc was 2nd, Bottas 3rd, Gasly 4th, Sainz 5th, Hamilton 6th, Norris 7th, Perez 8th, and Mick Schumacher once again in the points for Bugatti in 9th, and Lance Stroll came 10th. Max Verstappen once again looks like he's going to be top of the pile this season as he wins another race in Spain. Leclerc and Sainz getting 2nd and 3rd to make sure both Ferraris are on the podium. Bottas 4th, Norris 5th, Perez 6th, Stroll 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Gasly 9th, Hamilton all the way down in 10th, and then Schumacher and Rossi 11th and 12th for Bugatti. And as we head to the streets of Monaco, Max Verstappen makes sure he wins 4 of the opening 5 races. Carlos Sainz 2nd, Leclerc 3rd, Ferrari looking very good this season. Norris 4th, Gasly 5th, Russell up in 6th ahead of Mick Schumacher in 7th, Stroll 8th, Ricciardo 9th, and Bottas got the final point in 10th. And after 5 races, the Drivers' Championship has Max Verstappen on top of the pile, 34 points out of Charles Leclerc in 2nd, Gasly 3rd, Sainz 4th, Bottas 5th, Norris 6th, Hamilton 7th, Perez 8th, Schumacher up in 9th for Bugatti with 18 points, Stroll 10th, Russell 11th, Ricciardo 12th, Giovinazzi 13th, and Valentino Rossi with 2 points is in 14th. And in the Constructors, Ferrari lead the way, 9 points ahead of Red Bull. Mercedes are 3rd, AlphaTauri 4th, McLaren 5th, and Bugatti sits 6th ahead of Aston Martin in 7th, and Williams, the only other scorers, in 8th. And there's another massive week in Azerbaijan. Yes, Max Verstappen won, Gasly came 2nd, but Mick Schumacher gets Bugatti's first podium of the series. Lance Stroll was behind him in 4th, Russell 5th, Leclerc 6th, Bottas 7th, Sainz 8th, Ricciardo 9th, Hamilton 10th, and Rossi, Schumacher's teammate, was 12th. What a weekend, 15 points in the bag for Bugatti. And Max Verstappen once again on the top step in Canada, Norris 2nd, and Schumacher makes it back-to-back podiums for Bugatti as he finishes 3rd, Ricciardo 4th, Gasly 5th, Hamilton 6th, Bottas 7th, Valentino Rossi in the points as well in 8th, Perez 9th, and Russell got that final point for Aston Martin in 10th. And 8 races in, and Max Verstappen, I believe, has won 7 this season, a little overshadowed by Bugatti, but he is doing fine. Charles Leclerc 2nd, Carlos Sainz 3rd, Russell up in 4th for Aston Martin, Bottas 5th, Stroll 6th, Ricciardo 7th, Hamilton 8th, Norris 9th, and Schumacher ensures he picks up a point for Bugatti in 10th. Sometimes you just have to sit and applaud. Max Verstappen has dominated this series so far, and he's dominating this season again as he wins in Austria. Bottas 2nd, Norris 3rd, Perez 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Stroll 6th, Gasly 7th, Hamilton 8th, Sainz 9th, and Ocon picking up a point for Alpine in 10th. And next up was Silverstone, where Mercedes battled back with a 1-2. Bottas 1st, Hamilton 2nd, Norris 3rd, Stroll 4th, Leclerc 5th, Verstappen all the way down in 6th. Mick Schumacher picking up 6 points for Bugatti in 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Russell 9th, and Sainz got the final point for Ferrari. And as we head towards the mid-season break, Charles Leclerc wins in Hungary, Max Verstappen second, Sainz third, make sure both Ferraris are on the podium, Bottas fourth, Valentino Rossi in his highest ever finisher, fifth for Bugatti, Ocon finished sixth, Hamilton seventh, Stroll eighth, Perez ninth, and Gasly finished 10th. And at the halfway stage, Max Verstappen is 100 points ahead of Charles Leclerc. Bottas is third, Sainz fourth, Gasly fifth, Norris sixth, Hamilton seventh, Stroll's eighth, Mick Schumacher sits ninth with 55 points, Ricciardo 10th, Perez 11th, Russell 12th, and Rossi is 13th with 16, and Ocon is behind him with 9. And in the Constructors, Red Bull hold a 36-point lead over Ferrari, Mercedes are third, AlphaTauri fourth, McLaren fifth, Bugatti are sixth with 71 points, Aston Martin are behind them in seventh, Alpine are eighth, Williams ninth, and Alfa Romeo and Haas the only two teams not to score. And during that first half of the season, Bugatti have managed to go from second worst to the best car on the grid on paper. It's now just about turning that into race victories. Can they do it in the second half of the season? Let's find out and head to Belgium. And in Belgium, it's Pierre Gasly that springs to the front and wins the race. Max Verstappen second, Lance Stroll third, Mick Schumacher fourth for Bugatti, Bottas fifth, Norris sixth, Leclerc seventh, Perez eighth, Ocon ninth, and Russell got the final point in 10th. Valentino Rossi finished 13th. And Max Verstappen wins his home Grand Prix in the Netherlands. Leclerc second, Mick Schumacher getting another podium in the Bugatti. Bottas fourth, Perez fifth, Hamilton sixth, Gasly seventh, Valentino Rossi picking up 4 more points for Bugatti in 8th. Lando Norris 9th, and Carlos Sainz finished 10th. Next up was Monza, where Lance Stroll picked up his first F1 victory ahead of Max Verstappen in second, Valtteri Bottas third, Pierre Gasly fourth, Charles Leclerc fifth, Norris sixth, Mick Schumacher seventh, Carlos Sainz eighth, Russell ninth, and Perez finished in 10th. And with the cars certainly being a lot closer in the second half of this season in terms of ability, Charles Leclerc becomes the 4th straight different victor since the restart. Max Verstappen second, Mick Schumacher once again on the podium in 3rd, Norris 4th, Bottas 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Stroll 7th, Gasly 8th, Rossi back in the points in 9th, and Ocon finished 10th. And in the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen holds a 121-point lead over Charles Leclerc in 2nd. It is Bottas 3rd, Gasly 4th, Norris 5th, Sainz 6th, Stroll 7th. Mick Schumacher is in 8th, and he is ahead of a 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton in 9th, Perez 10th, Ricciardo 11th, Russell 12th, Valentino Rossi sits in 13th ahead of Ocon in 14th. And in the Constructors, Red Bull hold a 66-point lead over Ferrari, Mercedes are 3rd, AlphaTauri 4th, McLaren 5th, Bugatti still sitting in 6th and quite comfortably but chasing down McLaren, Aston Martin 7th, Alpine 8th, and Williams the only other scorers in 9th. And it's under the lights in Singapore where Bugatti have their first race victory. Mick Schumacher wins ahead of Max Verstappen in 2nd, Carlos Sainz 3rd, Lance Stroll 4th, Charles Leclerc 5th, Norris 6th, Bottas 7th, Gasly 8th, Perez 9th, and Ocon got the final point in 10th. But what a race, what a season Mick Schumacher's having. Can he pick up more victories before the end of the season? And next up was Japan, where Max Verstappen returned to winning ways ahead of Lando Norris in 2nd. Schumacher maybe not winning the race, but he's back on the podium in 3rd. Hamilton 4th, Sainz 5th, Bottas 6th, Ocon 7th, Leclerc 8th, Stroll 9th, and Gasly just pipping Valentino Rossi to 10th. Verstappen in control again in the USA as he looks to just wrap up his title comfortably as you like. Norris 2nd. Schumacher in 3rd with Rossi in 4th, possibly the best team weekend for Bugatti. Bottas 5th, Gasly 6th, Perez 7th, Leclerc 8th, Sainz 9th, and Hamilton crept into the points with that Mercedes in 10th. And after America, it was a short trip to Mexico where Lando Norris wins the race in McLaren. Max Verstappen 2nd, Leclerc 3rd, Sainz 4th, Schumacher 5th, Bottas 6th, Perez 7th, Gasly 8th, Ricciardo all the way down in 9th considering his teammate won the race, and Stroll finished in 10th. After last weekend's victory, Norris fancied another and he's won in Brazil. Gasly 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Schumacher 4th, Bottas 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Hamilton 7th, Leclerc 8th, Ocon 9th, and Rossi ensures both Bugattis make it into the points. And in the Drivers' Championship, Verstappen has had it wrapped up for a while now, 187 points ahead of Charles Leclerc in 2nd, Bottas 3rd, Norris 4th, Gasly 5th, Schumacher is 6th with 180 points, Sainz 7th, Stroll 8th, Hamilton 9th, Perez 10th, Ricciardo 11th, Russell 12th, Valentino Rossi right behind him in 13th, and Ocon is in 14th. And in the Constructors' Championship with 3 races to go, Red Bull lead Ferrari by 107 points, Mercedes are 3rd, AlphaTauri 4th, McLaren are 5th, and Bugatti still with a chance of catching them in 6th, Aston Martin are 7th, Alpine 8th, and Williams still the only other scorers in 9th. Next up, we headed down under where Max Verstappen wins in Australia ahead of Mick Schumacher in 2nd, Charles Leclerc 3rd, Gasly 4th, Perez 5th, Bottas 6th, Rossi 7th, Sainz 8th, Hamilton 9th, and Ricciardo finished 10th in his home Grand Prix. And in the penultimate race of the season, Max Verstappen wins again in Saudi Arabia. Gasly 2nd, Norris 3rd, Perez 4th, Stroll 5th, Leclerc 6th, Bottas 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Hamilton 9th, and Ocon pit Mick Schumacher to 10th. Disappointing weekend with no Bugatti in the top 10. However, in Abu Dhabi, they bounce back. Mick Schumacher takes his and Bugatti's 2nd ever race victory in Formula 1. Leclerc 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Rossi all the way up in 4th for a cracking weekend for Bugatti. Sainz 5th, Gasly 6th, Norris 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Ocon 9th, and Perez finished in 10th. And all that means Max Verstappen is the 2025 Drivers' Champion. He dominated the season yet again. Charles Leclerc 2nd, Norris managed to get up into 3rd in the end, Bottas 4th, Mick Schumacher, what a season to finish 5th with 223 points, Pierre Gasly 6th, Sainz 7th, Stroll 8th, Hamilton 9th, Perez 10th, Ricciardo 11th, Rossi managed to go up a place into 12th with 54 points, and Russell 13th ahead of Ocon in 14th. And in the Constructors, Red Bull once again win ahead of Ferrari in 2nd. AlphaTauri managed to actually pit Mercedes to 3rd. McLaren did end up finishing ahead of Bugatti in 5th, but what a season for Bugatti, accumulating 277 points. Wow. Considering before the season they'd never picked up a point at all, what a year. Aston Martin was 7th, Alpine 8th, and Williams picked up 4 points in 9th. So that's it. Bugatti broke not only their point scoring duck, but also their race victory duck. Can they compete next season? Can Mick Schumacher go for the title and battle with Max Verstappen and beat him? There's only one way to find out, and that is in the next episode. If you're excited for that, then please do drop this video a like. Hit that little subscribe button down below, because that's how you'll know when it's up. I'll catch you guys later.